Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, I hope this reading finds you happy and healthy and enjoying your journey to becoming more and more yourself. So, all right, let's get to this reading. The overall energy of this reading is Justice Reverse, Libra energy, injustice, unfair. Feels like, viewer, you're very attuned to justice, fairness, equality. What's this injustice? What do we need to know? Seven of Cups in reverse. No other options. What do we need to know about this injustice? This almost feels like Seven of Cups in reverse. Oh, devil. Okay. It feels like a justification. I didn't have any other option but to create injustice. Devil energy. Obsession, addictions. This feels like somebody in a mindset already in that devil energy. Creating injustices, and it feels like there's no other option other than to create injustices. It's tell me more about this, whoever's creating the injustices in this devil energy. Wow, a Knight of Cups. Someone who sells a false reality, sells a fantasy, an illusion, that there's no other option but there's no other options. I've explored all the options, and this just ick. Why is this showing up in this reading? Why am I reading this? What are the most important messages for the viewer? Page of Cups in reverse. Someone very immature, emotionally. Yeah, this is an immature perception, belief system. There's a lack of care here, and I'm feeling really like I can't stop moving. Like I'm really frustrated at the messaging that the injustices are happening because there's no other option, which is just boy, it feels like whoever's in this energy, you can't really connect with this very toxic energy. This Knight of Cups energy kind of creates this bubble of an delusion around these energies. So I'm seeing all the immature people in this bubble Wow. It creates a lot of not just injustices, but a lot of cruelty. There's a lack of care. I'm getting like, at least it's not me. I'm powerful. Then this doesn't happen to me. I'm the one exacting this injustice. Phew. Oh, interesting. Okay, there's also there's a lot of insecurity coming up. Immature, insecure, delusional. It feels like, yeah, there's a lack of empathy, a lack of care for others. Can't walk away from this. Unprotected. Someone can't walk away from this. They're attached. They can't. Okay, so whoever's in this energy right now, there's some type of delusion here, but it's real world, and it feels like there are people making these type of unjust decisions, creating injustices and a lack of care, and it feels like at some point they're not going to be able to defend themselves against this type of about what's happening. They're not going to be able to protect themselves. What's the Empress energy? This feels like the rise of feminine. Yeah. It's hope. There's karma and star card reverse. It feels like there's this hopeless situation, what I've been tuning into, injustices, devil energy, immaturity, delusions, illusions. And it feels like it's happening for us as a collective, is what I'm reading this. It's the rise of divine feminine energies. Feels like the rise of the feminine energy is making it very loud what is coming up in the collective energies to be perceived, to be seen, and so the collectives can make choices. It's a free range world. You get to choose. And so it feels like whoever is in this devil energy creating a lot of injustices and totally like, we have no other choice. Who is that? That's it. Did I do that? Urkel is so loving and easy to connect with. This is not that. This is someone wildly immature, insecure, creates illusions, delusions. They just manipulate people's emotions. And it looks like these are coming up and to be seen, to be witnessed, so we could make a choice. Maybe a different choice away from these type of energies. Wow. All right, the hidden blessing is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, a missed opportunity. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, a missed opportunity. It's like you didn't take whatever this was. It feels like you rejected an opportunity. What is this? Ooh, it's definite ending. That where there's a lot of confusion around an ending. And not investing in some path. Not seeing, this feels like the choices I was talking about. There's a hidden blessing, and something is ending or has ended. You know what's really, I'm not trying to purposefully be obscure, but what I'm seeing, it feels like we've all on an energetic level have already made a choice of what reality we would prefer to move forward with. And it feels like who I'm talking to is not accepting this opportunity to go down this path of delusion, illusion, immaturity, insecurity, making decisions from fear and feeling insecure, being comfortable with injustices. So why is this a hidden blessing? Oh, okay. The Two of Swords with the Death card is the ending is obscured. It's like this rise of the feminine. There's the end. It's like you have to live the outcome. We're in the story of an ending, and this is a hidden blessing that these energies are coming to an end. It feels like a whole pathway is of this type of toxic. It's okay to create injustices for others, immaturity, delusion, insecurity. So what I'm getting is that the choice has already been made on some energetic level, and we're just experiencing that ending, that change, that pathway. That feels real obscure. I'm not hitting, I'm not feeling very satisfied. So let's move on, see if we can find our satisfaction. What you're leaving behind is the Eight of Swords in reverse. What you're leaving behind, it's like awakening, no longer blocked. This feels like someone who can see clearly. Eight of Swords in reverse. They're not limited by their limited beliefs. They've set themselves free. Okay. What you're leaving behind is there's this divide between Eight of Swords in reverse, someone who is seeing things clearly, not burdened by their limited beliefs. And then there's this energy of those who don't have inner discernment. That are more easily manipulated through their emotions. I'm also seeing there's a lot of emotional maturity. It feels like what you're leaving behind is having to deal with people who are deluded. They're not seeing things clearly. They're believing in some delusion. It's keeping them immature and unwilling to really examine and go within and see things. This insecurity, it's placing trust in people and kind of like washing their hands clean type of energy, feeling like they won't be made responsible. Oh, yeah, there's a real I don't think the call's got to come from inside the house. And it feels like there are people that I'm tuned into that just refuse to see reality. They're very manipulated through their emotions. And it's too painful for these people as I'm tuning in. It's too painful for them to acknowledge, because if they acknowledge reality at this point, it bumps up against their emotional immaturity. They can't have it. They can't hold space for that 12:12 on the clock. It looks like you just can't convince whoever is kind of stuck in this deluded thinking. There's no contact with reality, and it feels like this feels like a cult, because I was just seeing how it's just so much easier for them to find connection with people who think just like them. They don't want to they don't want to expand. They don't want the difficulty, the discomfort. That's what this is. Discomfort with the truth, with reality. That would require having to unlearn some things, some painful things. That would be having to acknowledge that you weren't seeing things correctly, that you aren't seeing things correctly, and there's egos involved in this and a lack of maturity. It's kind of it feels like the longer that people stay in this culty kind of delusion, they can't have the alternative. And the alternative is that they were deluded, that they were refusing to be mature and responsible for their own emotions and seeing the reality. Where there's a passage in the Bible about how you treat the least of me, that is me. That's how you treat. And there's something here in direct conflict with treating vulnerable people unjustly, and just totally goes against I'm just like, whew. I think why it's hitting me now is because I was just talking about, if these people would wake up and see what's really going on, they can't hold the space. That's too overwhelming. the reality of the situation. If it's not the delusion that they have that's given them permission to cut themselves off and not see it other than through this lens that makes injustice okay. Without that, they just can't. It's too overwhelming, the reality. All right. How to get the most of this energy is the Five of Wands. Speaking out. Making your voice heard. How does the viewer get the most of this energy? Nine of Pentacles. Training your focus. Okay, so I'm getting like in your personal life, Nine of Pentacles. Focus on you. Focus on what you want. And it feels like speaking up. Speaking out, speaking up. When would the viewer, Five of Cups in reverse, when does the viewer speak out? Oh, jeez, jeez. Speak up before there's no one to listen to you. Speak up, speak out. Speak your mind. It's interesting. I feel like you're kind of up against Five of Cups in reverse energy when you speak out, when you speak your mind. It feels like it's countering the people who just have given themselves permission not to care. Whatever belief systems, whatever delusions, to not care. How can the viewer best speak up? What would be the best method, best advice for speaking out against this type of energy? Wow. Judgments popping out. Waking up. There's something here, what I'm getting, how to get the most of this energy. It feels like you are perceived as Nine of Pentacles, independent, maybe successful. And so your words have meaning. Your words have influence. I think that people that are stuck in this delusion, it's not for them, but it's for the people who are on the fence, who are too afraid to do anything, too afraid to take a stand. There's something here about speaking out from your position. What type of messages? Where? Ace of Pentacles is kind of popping out. Anything else around how to get the most of this energy? There we go. Challenges. Okay. Okay. Several messages are coming up here. The first one I'm getting reminds me of something I heard from Pema Chodron years ago, talking about Trungpa Rinpoche, her spiritual guide. This is back in the 70s, I think, in Boulder, Colorado. There's a toxic waste area, south of town. Forget what it's called. Anyway, there were a lot of Boulderites, people in Boulder in the 70s, that were picketing at this facility, radioactive facility. And so some of Trungpa Rinpoche's students asked, like, what can we do? How can we make this change? And instead of aggression and picketing and yelling at everybody coming in and out the facility, Trungpa Rinpoche suggested that they get a job there, that they work from the inside and change minds from the inside. Not through aggression. I don't know about you, but with protesting, with being yelled at, instantly I'm defensive and I know my side. What Trungpa Rinpoche is talking about is something more gentle, and getting to know someone, letting their guard down, asking where their opinions come from, being on the same side, and that those type of conversations from within the organizations are a very effective way of creating change from the inside. And so that's what I'm seeing here, is there's I am not judging activists and protesters at all. I am just, because I kept asking what this looks like, what this could look like for the viewers, that's the answer that I'm getting. That it doesn't have to be, unless that's where you're drawn, where you're excited, then go do that. This feels like changing from the inside, from a place of care and connection. Yeah, I'm not sure what that translates to in your life, but hopefully that gives you the inspiration that you're looking for in regards to this. All right, in regards to what's supporting you, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Stopping focusing on something, stopping investing in something, stop giving your attention to. What is this that the viewer, and it's supporting you by stopping focusing. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the people that I've been discussing here that are just in a delusional state of being, lacking care, very okay with the injustices that are being created. We have no choice. There's a foundational lie. I've found it's very difficult to talk to anybody who's got some foundational lie. They kind of they can't, in conversations, they just can't have any truth. They just stay in more comfortable. It's about comfort, feeling good. And what I'm getting here is stop investing so much time and focus. Yes, okay. So where your energy goes, that energy grows. So once you recognize that this energy is here and there's this deception and there are people lying to support whatever cause, whatever they want to create, their reality with the Tower is collapsing, this false reality collapsing. I'm getting two things here. What's supporting you is not focusing on the problem, the people who are the problem, that you perceive are the problem, and focus on what you want the world to look like, to run like. What would it be? What would be the ideal world that you would prefer to live in? Would it be more honest and truthful? Reality? Equality, justice, equity. Everyone feels cared for, everyone's fed, everyone has opportunities. No one is being treated less than anyone else. Those are just some off the top of my head. But what I'm seeing here is it looks like there are more people that are going to stop supporting. They're going to be pulling their energy away from this lie as truths are coming out, as really uncomfortable truths, as their reality, what they thought was the truth, that this was a necessity, that there was no other way. Okay, these people's realities are collapsing. How can we help? What would be the most helpful information for Ten of Swords in reverse? I'm getting fortune after difficulty. These people that are going to be leaving this are wounded, hurt, overwhelmed with reality, confused, hurt. All right, let's just move on. What to be mindful of is the Two of Pentacles. This is a choice point. It feels like reality or delusion is part of what's going on here. Then there's feels like the choices have already been made. It feels like there are people that are leaving this toxic environment, the lies and deception, because this isn't what they expected. They're recognizing that they were juggled, manipulated. Okay. King of Swords. Emperor reverse, Four of Pentacles. So there's some type of authority, truth, King of Swords coming out. And there are people that are holding on to this bad boss, bad leader, dictator, very controlling, very manipulative. Some type of truth that's coming out that's it's a truth enough that it is causing people that are very like die with the lie to wake up. Oh gosh, they're part of the illusion, that delusion that they're waking up to is realizing that it is all about money, or very much about money. Wow, these people can be a very powerful part going forward once they process what they've gone through. It looks like they can really be a powerful component to the divine rising of the divine feminine, if they're willing to get out of a comfort zone and see reality for what it really is. What's interesting that I'm seeing here is the more the people wake up to reality and kind of become deprogrammed from this delusion, that those people are can be a very cooperative part of helping others see that this is not the way to go, that creating injustices and because there's no other option, like it's even an option. So, all right, I'm going to do an extended reading. Extended reading here is in the description box. You follow that link to Patreon part 2, where I'll continue on. I'm halfway through the reading. So on Patreon, in part 2 of this reading, I'll be doing health, relationships, creativity, new opportunities, and career and finance. So I'll see you over there, and if not, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.